If you want to fix diabetes, focus on these 3 essential steps. So many people are told that diabetes is a lifelong sentence, a progressive disease that you can only manage with more and more medication. But I'm here to tell you that's not the full story. The root cause of type 2 diabetes is something called insulin resistance. And the good news is that this is something you have a tremendous amount of control over. We're not talking about complicated, expensive treatments. We're talking about fundamental, actionable changes you can start making today that can make a profound, real difference in your blood sugar, your energy levels, and your overall health. You see, your body has an incredible, innate ability to heal itself. The problem is that our modern lifestyle often gets in the way. We're constantly bombarded with the wrong foods, we're more sedentary than ever, and we're under chronic stress. These factors are what drive insulin resistance. By addressing these core issues, you're not just putting a bandage on the symptoms, you're working to correct the underlying problem at its source. It's about giving your body the right environment and the right tools to function correctly again. In this video, I'm going to break down the 3 most powerful strategies you can implement right away. We'll go deep into each one, explaining the why behind the what. Understanding the mechanism is key, because when you understand why something works, you're much more motivated to stick with it. Forget the confusion and the conflicting advice. These 3 pillars are the foundation for taking back control of your health and potentially reversing the course of this condition. Let's get into it. If you're finding this helpful so far, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And stay with us until the end of the video. There's important information you won't want to miss. The first and perhaps most foundational pillar is mastering your lifestyle. And this goes far beyond just diet. We have to look at the entire picture. Let's start with physical activity. I'm not telling you that you need to go run a marathon tomorrow. In fact, for many people, high-intensity, long-duration cardio can actually raise cortisol, a stress hormone, which in turn can raise your blood sugar. Instead, I want you to focus on 2 things: consistent, low-intensity movement like walking, especially after meals, and resistance training. Walking after you eat helps your muscles soak up the glucose from your bloodstream, acting like a sponge and lowering the immediate blood sugar spike from your meal. Resistance training, whether it's with weights, bands, or just your own body weight, is incredibly powerful. When you build muscle, you're essentially building more storage depots for glucose. Think of each muscle as a small fuel tank. The more fuel tanks you have and the bigger they are, the more glucose you can pull out of your blood without needing a massive insulin response. This directly improves your insulin sensitivity. You're making your body more efficient at handling carbohydrates. Just 2 to 3 sessions of full-body resistance training a week can make a remarkable difference in your average blood sugar levels over time. Now, let's talk about a silent factor that sabotages so many people's efforts: stress. When you are under chronic mental or emotional stress, your body releases cortisol. Cortisol's job is to prepare you for a fight or flight situation. And one way it does this is by telling your liver to dump glucose into the bloodstream for quick energy. In our modern world, the saber-toothed tiger is a traffic jam, a deadline at work, or a family argument. Your body doesn't know the difference. This constant trickle of stress-induced glucose keeps your insulin levels high, worsening insulin resistance. You must find ways to manage this, whether it's through deep breathing, meditation, or simply spending time in nature. Finally, we cannot ignore sleep. Poor sleep is a massive physiological stressor. Just 1 night of inadequate sleep can make you as insulin resistant as a person with type 2 diabetes. During deep sleep, your body performs critical repair processes, balances hormones, and resets your sensitivity to insulin. If you are consistently getting less than 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep, you are fighting an uphill battle. Prioritizing your sleep is not a luxury. It is an absolute non-negotiable for managing blood sugar. Turn off screens an hour before bed, make your room dark and cool, and create a relaxing wind-down routine. These lifestyle factors, movement, stress management, and sleep, are not just secondary suggestions. They are equally as important as what you eat. They create the hormonal environment in your body that will either promote insulin sensitivity and healing or perpetuate insulin resistance and disease. You can have the perfect diet, but if you're chronically stressed and sleep deprived, you will not get the results you're looking for. Address these foundational pieces, and you'll be amazed at how much easier everything else becomes. The second pillar, which is incredibly important for a majority of people with type 2 diabetes, is addressing excess body weight, specifically visceral fat. Now, it's crucial to understand why this is so important. We're not talking about weight loss for cosmetic reasons. We're talking about it from a metabolic health standpoint. The most dangerous type of fat is the fat you can't see, the visceral fat that accumulates around your internal organs like your liver and your pancreas. This is not the subcutaneous fat you can pinch under your skin. This is deep, internal fat that is highly metabolically active. This visceral fat is like a factory that constantly produces inflammatory chemicals called cytokines. These cytokines circulate throughout your body and directly interfere with your insulin signaling pathways. They essentially create a low-grade chronic inflammation that is a key driver of insulin resistance. Furthermore, when your liver becomes fatty, a condition known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is extremely common in diabetics, it becomes less responsive to insulin signals. The liver's job is to stop producing glucose when you've eaten. But a fatty, insulin-resistant liver keeps dumping sugar into the blood, even when it shouldn't. So, when we talk about weight loss, we are really talking about reducing this visceral fat to take the pressure off your organs and lower inflammation. How do we do this? The key is to create a hormonal environment that encourages fat burning rather than fat storage. This means keeping insulin levels low. Insulin is the primary fat storage hormone. When insulin is high, you are physically incapable of burning stored body fat for energy. This is why the old calories in, calories out model is so flawed. It ignores the powerful role of hormones in determining what your body does with those calories. To achieve healthy and sustainable weight loss, you need to focus on strategies that lower insulin. This is where combining a low-carbohydrate diet, which we'll discuss next, with intermittent fasting can be incredibly powerful. Intermittent fasting gives your body a break from constantly producing insulin. When you're in a fasted state, your insulin levels drop significantly, which signals your body to switch from burning sugar to burning stored body fat for fuel. This directly targets that dangerous visceral fat around your organs. Start with a simple 16-8 schedule, where you fast for 16 hours and eat within an 8-hour window. Remember, the goal isn't just to lose pounds on the scale, it's to improve your body composition. You want to lose fat while preserving or even building metabolically active muscle tissue. This is why combining intermittent fasting and a proper diet with the resistance training we talked about in the first pillar is the ultimate strategy. By losing that excess visceral fat, you are directly improving your liver function, reducing inflammation, and dramatically increasing your cells' sensitivity to insulin. This is one of the most direct ways to reverse the underlying cause of type 2 diabetes. This brings us to the third and most impactful pillar, adopting a low-carbohydrate diet. This is where we directly address the primary trigger for high blood sugar and high insulin. Let's think about this logically for a moment. All carbohydrates, whether they come from bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, or even fruit, are broken down into sugar, glucose in your bloodstream. If you have diabetes, your body's ability to handle that sugar is impaired. So, what is the most common sense approach here? It's to reduce the amount of the very thing your body can't handle. It's kind of like trying to put out a fire by stopping the supply of fuel. When you eat a meal high in carbohydrates, it causes a rapid and large spike in your blood glucose. In response, your pancreas has to pump out a massive amount of insulin to try and clear that sugar from the blood. For someone with insulin resistance, the cells don't listen very well, so the pancreas has to work even harder, secreting even more insulin. This constant cycle of high blood sugar followed by a flood of insulin is what perpetuates and actually worsens insulin resistance over time. It's a vicious cycle. By significantly lowering your carbohydrate intake, you prevent that big blood sugar spike in the first place. A low-carb diet keeps your blood sugar levels much more stable throughout the day. There are no dramatic peaks and valleys. This stability gives your pancreas a much-needed rest. It doesn't have to work overtime anymore. When insulin levels are consistently low, your cells have a chance to reset and regain their sensitivity. This is the fundamental mechanism by which a low-carb diet can help reverse type 2 diabetes. You're removing the constant stimulus that was causing the problem. So, what does this look like in practice? It means shifting your focus away from starches and sugars and towards healthy fats, moderate protein, and non-starchy vegetables. Instead of toast and orange juice for breakfast, you might have eggs cooked in butter with avocado and spinach. Instead of a sandwich for lunch, you'd have a large salad with grilled chicken or salmon, olive oil dressing, and plenty of greens. Dinner could be a piece of steak with a side of broccoli and cauliflower mash. You're eating real whole foods that are nutrient-dense and have a minimal impact on your blood sugar. You don't have to be afraid of fat. Healthy fats from sources like avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish do not raise insulin. In fact, a key principle of a low-carbohydrate diet is to get most of your calories from good fats rather than from carbs. These healthy fats provide energy without spiking your blood sugar or insulin. To make this work, it's important to limit your daily carbohydrate intake, ideally to about 70 to 100 grams per day. This range helps keep your blood sugar stable. A typical daily intake of calorie chart with low carbs look like this. They provide a clean, long-lasting source of energy and help keep you full and satisfied, making it much easier to stick to the diet. The key is to replace the carbs you're removing with these healthy fats and adequate protein. This isn't about deprivation. It's about making smart swaps that nourish your body and correct the underlying hormonal imbalance. This dietary change, combined with the lifestyle factors and weight loss, creates a powerful synergy for healing. So, there you have it. The 3 fundamental pillars to truly managing and potentially reversing type 2 diabetes. It's about mastering your lifestyle through movement, stress management, and sleep. It's about addressing excess visceral fat to improve your body's hormonal environment. And it's about adopting a low-carbohydrate, healthy fat diet to stop the constant blood sugar roller coaster. These 3 steps work together synergistically. You can't just do one and expect optimal results. They are interconnected and amplify each other's effects. This approach puts you back in the driver's seat. I want to encourage you to stop thinking of this as a life sentence. Your body has a remarkable capacity to heal when given the right conditions. The information is out there, and now you have a clear, actionable plan. Don't get overwhelmed. Just start with one small change today. Maybe it's going for a 15-minute walk after dinner. Maybe it's swapping your morning cereal for eggs. Each small step builds momentum and creates a positive feedback loop that will inspire you to keep going. This is not about a quick fix. It's about a permanent lifestyle shift that will pay dividends for the rest of your life, not just in your blood sugar numbers, but in your energy, your mental clarity, and your overall vitality. The power to change your health trajectory is not in a pill bottle. It's on your plate, in your daily habits, and in your mindset. Here's a practical tip. Whenever you buy any food, always check the nutrition label for the carbohydrate content. Choose options with lower carbs to help keep your blood sugar steady. This simple habit can make a big difference in your daily choices. Before you begin implementing these powerful strategies, it's essential to keep your safety in mind. Here are some important precautions. First, as you practice these 3 pillars, remember to regularly monitor your glucose levels. Reducing carbohydrates can significantly lower your blood sugar, so it's important to stay vigilant and track your progress. Second, as your condition improves, there may be a need to adjust or even stop certain medications. However, never make changes to your medications without professional guidance. And finally, always consult your doctor whenever needed to ensure your safety and well-being. Working closely with your healthcare provider will help you achieve the best possible results on your journey to better health. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, you're not alone on this path. Thanks for watching, and wishing you the very best on your diabetes journey. Watch my next video on the role of fiber in diabetes, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Your support encourages us to keep creating helpful content.